What's poppin', dude? What's happening, man? What's been going on with you? I know you got back into streaming recently.
Yeah, I started streaming. You know what's funny? I didn't go to the RuneScape. I'm playing Apex right now, which
No, I
is
think that's okay.
a lot different.
I think that's okay. I think I don't think anybody should ever create content and like force themselves. Like this is a very common thing in like the content creation space. We like to force ourselves to play shit we're not having fun with, and I don't think it's ever beneficial, ever, right? Because when you're genuinely having fun and you're genuinely like playing games that you're enjoying and you're just having a blast, people are more inclined to want to support that rather than supporting someone who's just kind of forcing themselves to play whatever because, you know, whatever, because that's where their audience is. And so, yeah, I think the most important thing, especially with you being so fresh to your journey of content creation, that I think you should just have fun with it. Otherwise, you're just going to grow up hating it. If you grow up hating it, like, what's the odds you're going to stick it? I think that's what ends up happening a lot. There's like two things. Like when people get started with streaming, they like either they burn out on the game that they're playing and then they don't want to stream anymore because they think that they're going to lose their entire audience, or B, they stress over the numbers when they do swap games because they lose their audience. And then they're like, all right, well, why the hell am I streaming to nobody? Well, yeah. And so that's why.
I had a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, but you got to find your way, keep pushing through. So you get back playing Apex, huh?
Yeah, I'm playing Apex just because I have like an FPS itch. Because I'm gonna be honest, on RuneScape, I'm like not having fun with it right now. I'm just waiting for Necromancy. I've told my community this, like we're just gonna play this. We're gonna have fun. Everyone's been liking it. I've been playing with a couple of people in chat. You know, we just chill out. The morning schedule is still getting used to. Like I used to crank out like 8-hour streams. Now it's like 5 hours. The different time slot is different. Like it just feels different. Like I feel like I'm live longer just because I wake up so early. So I obviously want to stream longer, but it just I gotta get into that rhythm again.
I actually think you doing 5-hour streams is probably more beneficial long term.
Okay.
As I've grown over the years as a content creator, I've learned that like streaming's great and streaming's a lot of fun, and that's why we like to do it, and that's why we like to do long hours. But those 8-hour streams aren't helping you long term. They're great short term because you're having fun and you're streaming a long time and you think you gotta always be live, more viewers, more chances for followers, more chances for tips, more chances for subs. But if you take that 5-hour stream and then you spend 1 or 2 hours after that 5-hour stream, TikToks, YouTube shorts, networking, preparing for the next stream, whatever it might be, planning, I think that is way more beneficial and way better than hitting an 8-hour stream and then just leaving. Streams are
So you're saying quality over quantity. Like you'd rather have like a banging shorter stream than a dull long stream.
Well, not only that, but when the stream ends, no one gives a fuck about the stream. They're not going back to the. Very few people are going back to the VOD. The stream's over. They're just going to wait till the next stream goes live. You know where they are going, though? They're going to see the content on YouTube that's already posted there. And when that content is posted on YouTube, people can continuously see it. It can continuously be seen. When your stream's over, that's it. It's no longer being seen. It's no longer benefiting you. Yeah. So streams are something that, like, I think they're a great tool. But in 2023, in today's day, it's not the be-all, end-all. It's not. And so I think a 5-hour stream is far more beneficial if you take the time afterwards. So like if you're doing 8-hour streams normally, you cut that back to 5 hours. That's 3 hours after every single stream. If you stream 6 days a week, you just gained 18 extra hours in the week that can then be used to push other content.
And by other content, you mean on a different platform?
Other platforms. YouTube. I mean, kick streams are interesting, right? So like you have to like kind of factor that in a little bit because it's still streaming, but it is diversifying your content. But we're like, in whole, we're talking YouTube shorts, we're talking TikTok, we're talking YouTube long form content. We're 18 hours a week. That is a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's still having a day off. That's 18 hours a week to make content that's outside of your live stream time. I think that's far more beneficial than those extra 18 hours going live, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
And so, yeah, I just, I used to think the same way though. I used to always be like, yeah, man, we gotta be live.
You gotta be on. Because if I'm not on, they can't see me.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's, I mean, it's true. If you're not on, they can't see you.
Yeah, you could burn out easily with that though.
Well, yeah, you could burn out, right? Because you're doing
Yeah.
an ungodly amount of hours. It's incredibly unhealthy. There's no time to do anything else in the week. But like you said, if you're not on, they can't see you. But that's not true if you're producing content on other platforms. Then they can see you when you're not on.
When you're not on. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to move away from 9 years of 8+ hour streams.
8+, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I'm not saying never do another 8-hour stream. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
But the
you're just
majority of
saying
your
cut back
weeks,
the time,
cut
but the
back the
time you
time.
save, it's spent somewhere else, which is still beneficial because it's on another platform. Even though you're not live, it can still see you.
Exactly. I
Still
think it's way more
consume your
beneficial.
content and still generate revenue for you.
Yeah, and I think that is I think it's way bigger. Not only is like producing that content on other platforms going to be like incredibly beneficial, but it's only going to boost your streams. It's not going to take away from them.
Yeah, because if somebody sees your YouTube and they don't even know your stream, and then be like, oh, they might check out your stream,
Yeah,
or
if
they
they
might
really enjoy
be
it.
a good time, like a long time viewer out of it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know.
Well, and then the other thing too is like think about an 8-hour stream. How many times throughout an 8-hour stream is there like a lull in content where the content isn't as exciting, chat maybe slows down, and there's not a lot of chatter? Like, I mean, there's a lot of not dead air, but I don't want to call it dead content. But there is a lot of like,
there's a slowdown.
yeah. And so if you can keep
experience.
high ass energy for 5 hours straight, I think it's easier to keep energy. It's easier to keep that energy for 5 hours than it is to keep that energy for 8 hours. That could produce better results alone. So yeah, I've been really behind the scenes, like just rethinking content in general, and the way that I'm doing content. And so, 100%. I think you doing a 5-hour stream isn't a negative that you think it is. And like you said, you're trying to work back up to doing 8 hours. I don't even think you need to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, I just want to stream longer. I feel like 5 hours is just a little bit too short. But I see like you might have those low moments in a longer stream because I've seen it. Like sometimes in the 8-hour streams in RuneScape, like halfway through, chat's not moving as fast. I'm kind of just chilling out, and then it'll pick back up.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
and like maintaining,
it's kind of like a second win, but like that time block was a dull moment in the stream.
Yeah, and then and also maintaining that energy for 3 hours longer. Like, I mean, it's a lot, right? So
It is a lot. Yeah.
But there's a level of freedom with like 3 hours of editing time, right? Like if you think about it that way, like it's not like, because you're not on stream. So you have the freedom to get up and go take a piss. You have the freedom to get up and go get food. You have the freedom to have a podcast in the background while working on something. You've got the freedom to, there's a level of freedom you get. Whereas when you're on stream,
because when you
don't want to get up. Yeah, when you're on, you're on.
You don't even want to leave the room for like more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, you're like, shit, 10 seconds? Gotta get back. They're leaving. Streamer's not in the chair.
When I get up out of my chair, like I always think in the back of my head, it's like some like a stadium, and then you're just sitting in the audience, and then they leave for a while. You're just like, huh, nothing's happening.
Yeah, and I think I've had this conversation with you too before.
I gotta get back on stage. I gotta run back.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I had this conversation with you before too about like I stream a long time. I always stream long hours. My viewers know I'm gonna be live no matter what between this time frame and this time frame. So if another streamer gets on that they like, that might only stream a couple of hours, well, they're gonna take the advantage to go and see that streamer because they know that after that streamer ends their stream, guess who's still on?
Sure. Yeah.
And so in a way, too many hours can also be detrimental because my viewers know, like, oh, I'm still going to be live. I could just catch up on the rest of the stream, or I could just come back, And so in a way, a longer form stream can be kind of detrimental too. It's like I said, I think moderation on the long form streams, but I think for the most part, I think 5 hours is long. How often do you know of people that are sitting for 5 hours straight, other than like die-hard hardcore gamers? You know what I mean? Even if you think about like the casual viewer aspect.
True. When I was doing Apex for 5 hours straight, I was like, I had to get up out of my chair, and dude, my back cracked. So I was like gaming so hard for 5 hours straight.
Dude, it's crazy, right?
Dude, it was real, dude. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it'd be like that. So I mean, just food for thought. I've really been transforming the way that I kind of look at things lately, especially in terms of content. Just kind of I don't want to say like overhauling in a way, but in a sense, kind of overhauling my entire content and then looking at things that I can branch off into. Kind of like what we did with the podcast, right? Like coming out with the podcast is pretty crazy.
Yeah, like evolving.
Yeah, exactly. 100% that. Just really diving into content outside of the norm, like stuff that I wouldn't have done before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of the podcast, man, we've been doing this thing for what, a month now?
Yeah, is this our 4th podcast?
This is technically the 4th. Yeah, this is episode 3, but it's technically number 4. Yeah, I think at some point, we need to just not even think of it as like the 4th podcast, but like, yeah, this is episode 3. But we do this every week, every Sunday, and we just throw it down for a couple of hours. We've had a good range. We've gone anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hour podcast so far. Yeah.
Yeah, the 2.5 hour one was last podcast.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to think that, you know, we're still doing it. Like we're about it.
No, like, yeah, we're about it. Like we're doing it. We may not even necessarily have like maybe I don't want to say like the best plan moving forward, but each week we hop on here on Sundays and we make I don't want to say we make something out of nothing, but we make something happen. You know what I mean? And it's been good. People have been enjoying listening to it and having a good time and just, you know, vibing out, just shooting the shit, you know. While we're on that topic of the podcast in general, I didn't have an opportunity to tell you, you know, me and Toby had a meeting last night about moving forward with the YouTube channel and things. And you know how we've been uploading the podcast to my YouTube. What's going to end up happening is I think the podcast is going to perform better on its own YouTube, and that's why we made that, and we knew that eventually moving forward anyways. The podcast, I think, is going to perform better on its own YouTube because immediately the subscribers we gain on that YouTube channel are people who are interested in podcasts, right? Like right now with my YouTube
mixed
channel,
content,
it's mixed content.
And
and there's not a like clear-cut direction of the channel, and so part of revamping my own content, I'm realizing that and knowing that I need to change the content strategy. And so I actually talked to Toby yesterday. We're going to start uploading the podcast immediately. We're going to get 0, 1, and 2, and then 3 up on the actual What in the Podcast channel on YouTube, our actual branded on the official channel. Not only that, like we're looking into Spotify, and we're going to get that rolling in the like Apple Podcasts too. But when we do finally get those other podcast episodes moved over to the official YouTube channel, I'm going to unlist them from mine so that they're no longer seen in my video feed. I think it's going to perform a lot better, and we're going to actually start garnering an audience that is there for podcasts and actually start to build that. I think for a while we're still going to keep things on the Twitch channel. It just makes the most sense. But eventually we will move it in to our own Twitch channel as well, where things will be a little bit different and ran a little bit differently.
Yeah, we've always had that idea. It was just a matter of time and knowing when to do it.
Yeah, so, and I don't think it's time yet. I think we're still trying to figure that out and figure out like what the move is with that. But yeah, 100%. We've been, you know, figuring things out with that. So yeah, that was one of the big things that me and Toby talked about last night for a fat minute was getting everything moved over to that channel, and then moving forward, this episode moving forward. This episode isn't even going to go to my main YouTube. This is immediately going to go over to the actual podcast channel. And so that's just, moving forward, that's the route we're going to go. We're just going to focus up there with that channel. We could separate it. And, you know, I've been trying to keep active with the Twitter over there too. And I actually think it's been pretty well. The Twitter has like 21, 22 followers. It's actually been doing
I was
been doing its own thing.
Yeah. People are actually interested in it.
Yeah, and there's engagement there, and you know, retweets, tweets, all that fun. So yeah, it's you know, getting the thing rolling, man. Really getting it rolling. Yeah, it's definitely been a process. I didn't know what it was gonna be like actually like producing and like going into the whole podcast thing. I was always curious how this was gonna work and like how it was gonna flow.
Yeah, it's a different venture. Like YouTube content is like different, and then podcast content is obviously different too, but it's kind of like more YouTube-ish content. But I don't know how to like really navigate it. So it's all like new experience for me. But I mean,
it's a new experience for me too, right? Because I've never done it.
It's cool. Yeah.
You know what I actually just recently saw a video too. A good reason why people should start making podcasts is because a lot of people make podcasts. And so when you look at the scene, you might think that it's saturated. A lot of people make podcasts. Very few people stay consistent with their podcasts. So consistency breeds success. I'm a big proponent of consistency. I do truly believe.
Yeah, you tell me all the time.
We stay consistent. We keep posting. We're gonna outshine those other podcasts in the sea. You know, by the time we hit episode 50, we're gonna be like, dude, holy shit, we've been doing this a really long time. Look at how far we've come. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm definitely excited. We're gonna keep pushing with that, keep rolling with that. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Fucking what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought for a second there with the whole podcast flow. Yeah, it's just new waters. It's just new waters in general. Like really just trying to navigate things.
Yeah.
A lot
We're
of
just
learning.
waffling. We're trying our best. It seemed to work it out so far. People are liking it. But,
yeah, I mean, viewership's been good on the live podcast as well. Like viewership has stayed consistent and really, really good with that. And then I think we're going to see a lot more success YouTube-wise when we actually move everything over to that YouTube channel too. And I'm actually excited about that. I'm really excited to get more into it. We also, I came up with a plan yesterday with Toby on how we're going to produce like short form content for it, like YouTube Shorts and TikToks. That was going to be my question.
Yeah, I was gonna wonder. I was gonna do YouTube Shorts, TikToks. Like, how are we gonna approach that?
There's a plan. There's a big market on TikTok. I was actually looking at them yesterday. As far as like the type of content, that is still something we're gonna figure out. We're gonna have to trial a lot of different things. Excuse me. Sorry.
I was thinking maybe we have to like rewatch the podcast, pick like couple segments that are like clip worthy. Or like I don't know what is it like a minute 5? I don't know what the time.
TikTok is 101 and above is really good in terms of like monetization. YouTube Shorts is 60 seconds and under, nothing over 60 seconds. So we'll have to play around a little bit. I'm not worried crazy amount about the time. I think the time is something that it's a factor. We can look into that later. It might help us like for instance with TikTok, they're really pushing short form content, but they're trying to get into long form content. And so 101.
So they're pushing that more.
So they're pushing that more. So 101 in length might actually be the key to getting that algorithm on TikTok a little bit better and getting pushed a little bit better. So that's something that we're still, me and Toby are working on, and we'll get into another meeting with you and we'll go through that and we'll get it all figured out. We'll get it all fleshed out. It's like the biggest thing is I think a lot of people are always afraid to experiment, because they're afraid of failure. They don't want to try something, and then they don't want to fail at trying that thing. But the thing is like you only fail if you give up. Like I don't look at failure as like this thing like, oh, the video didn't do good views. That's a failure. No, it's a failure if you stop because that video didn't get good views. It's a failure if you stop podcasting because that podcast didn't get good views that day. You know what I'm saying? And so if we stay consistent, always looking to better it, always looking to better the product, always finding ways to improve. As long as we continue, I don't see that as failure, and eventually all things are going to come with that. So I think that's the most important thing, just being consistent.
Yeah, having a positive mindset and then always wanting to do better, having a level head, I think will always come out on top.
Yeah, I think the level head thing, right? Because like how many times do you see somebody like they'll get a lot of success and they'll really like pop off, but then like their ego gets too big for it.
Yeah, their ego gets inflated,
and then all of a sudden things change, and next thing you know, they're like, what happened? You know?
Yeah, and you're just like, wait, what happened to this individual? What changed?
Yeah.
They say you the money changed, you know?
Okay, so the thing about that is like, that's actually really funny that you bring that up. I don't know, like a lot of people will be like, yeah, the money changed you. But is it that the money changed them, or is it that they realized
or has it always been that way?
Well, okay, you could argue like, okay, maybe it's always been that way, but is it necessary that the money changed them, or is it that their mindset is in a different space now to where they're like, I don't want to say the money is like the focus of like the once you receive the recipe, right? Like once you get that recipe, like you found a proven method of success and you want to keep that success going, you might be willing to make slight adjustments where the outside person looking in, they're going to go, well, you've changed, when in reality you're just optimizing. But if someone doesn't like the way that you optimize, they're going to immediately write that off and say you've changed, when in reality you just made things slightly better to keep that success rolling, right? And so I think the whole like you've changed thing is a really weird.
Well, it depends on how you define change. Like, is it a negative connotation? Is it a positive one? It depends on the person who's asking.
Well, I also think it
But you
depends on like
change.
the concept too, right? Like, because if you come across $1 million and you blow off all your people who have been loyal to you and haven't done you wrong, right? It's
What?
one thing if they do you wrong, but like if they've been loyal to you, they were there with you from the very beginning. You come up on money, you get new friends who also have money, and then so you say fuck all your old friends. That's a valid like you've changed, bro. That's a valid you've changed. The money changed you, but for me, I've always been. Loyalty's like huge for me. So the people that have come up with me, I'm gonna make sure they come up with me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm on my come up, they're gonna come up with me. I'm not gonna change up because they were there when no one else was. You know what I mean? And that's huge. I think that's huge. So it really just depends. I think it just really depends on like on the concept or like the context of what the fuck we're talking about kind of deal. So or what the person claiming you changed. So you have people that are gonna make these false outcries, right? You're gonna have people that are you've changed and they just don't like your new content, and that's cool because
change, bro.
Well, I always think that's funny too, because everybody always changes, and so when someone says you change, it's like, well, how do you know you're not the one that changed and you just don't like me now?
Or they stayed the same and then you changed, or you could say like you evolved and they're saying, oh, you changed.
Well, yeah,
It could be resentment, like, oh, that guy's on the come up, what the fuck, you know. It depends.
Envy's big, man. Like especially like I think in the like social media context, envy is like crazy big.
In social media, why? Because they're seeing a bunch of like glamorous stuff.
Yeah, you see. Well,
like,
yeah, because it's social media shows a life that people live that they may not even actually live. But then you're like, well, damn, this person's the same age as me and they live that life. Why do I live this life? And so
it's just a caricature of a lifestyle that
they can breed hatred. Like 100% just breeds hatred. You know what I mean? And so, you know, it's kind of something to think about. Yeah, like envy is a weird thing, right? I think when I was younger, I used to be that way. When I was a lot younger, I used to see success of my peers,
and then you would be like, "Well, what the fuck?"
Yeah, like low key behind the scenes, I'd be like jelly, right? I'd be like, "Well, what the hell?" Like, hang on a second.
I mean, I used to be the same way too. I think a little part of me will always be a little bit jealous.
I think that's
human nature. But I've learned to be, I've learned to minimize that and be like, oh, how do I get there? You know, what did this person do to get to that spot? Rather than looking at it, why not me? I try to think of it as like, what can I do to change to get on that same level?
Yeah,
and that's really helped me.
I think just very much like human nature in general. Like there's always gonna be a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of envy. Yeah, I think that's just natural. Like you see somebody on Twitter, you're a Twitch streamer, and you see somebody on Twitter and they're like, yo, look at these 3,000 subs. You're like, damn, if I had 3,000, you do the math on your phone.
Dude, I was like, damn.
Damn, if I had 3,000 subs, holy shit. And the reality is it's probably just a 1 month high for them. And they're, you know, it's probably not gonna, they're not averaging that, or maybe they are averaging that and you're just like, damn, one day I want to average that, right? I think especially as like Twitch streamers, that's kind of like a thing that a lot of people do, or even as kick streamers.
I mean, we always look at the numbers, always doing the math in our heads. So I mean,
yeah, I mean it's as toxic as me deciding to take my top 20 sub gifters and going, well, what if I had that on Kick? And then being like, damn, but I mean, that's $14,000 more. Like, fuck, man. Damn, you know, bro. Like, goddamn, that's like 14 G's. 14, like what? Like you could do a lot with 14 G's, man. That's a lot of extra money. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's a toxic thing to do. Very often, I think everybody does that. I think it's just a bad thing to do. We shouldn't really try to engage in that. But it's human nature.
Yeah, it is human nature. It was really difficult for me to like understand that and then change that. But I feel like I'm pretty okay. Try not to be envious.
Yeah, I mean it's a growing thing, right? Like it's a growth thing. Like as
it
you
could
get
also be a youth
older,
thing.
as you get
Yeah.
wiser, as you mature a little bit, as you go through the industry, as you go through your life, you're gonna grow. And part of that growth is gonna be realizing like a lot of this shit doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like you have one life to live. Being upset about like stupid little things, like instead of being upset, you could choose like. I could be upset about someone being extremely successful streaming wise, and they could be one of my homies, or I could celebrate with them. I could be genuinely happy for them, and I'm gonna feel a lot better rather than sitting there sulking like.
Yeah, being in the negative.
Okay,
It's always easier to
I
go
got
to
100 gifted subs right now, you know, and like sulking, like it's like, dude, I could sit there and sulk and be negative, or I could be genuinely happy and just be excited that, hey, my homie's up right now, and that's awesome, and I hope I'm gonna be up soon too, you know, and so yeah, I think part of that is just like your outlook, and being able to grow and change that outlook is important.
Yeah, but for me, I had to learn how to be that way. I was a very envious person, just angry, because it's always easier to go like to the negative. At least for me, it's always easy to just be like, "Oh fuck this, man."
Yeah,
How come I don't have that?
I think that's just human
You
nature,
do.
right? It's a lot easier to be pessimistic than it is to be optimistic. You have to like genuinely try to be happy, whereas like you don't have to try to be upset. That angry emotion hits and you're angry, and that's it. Like I don't even know how to describe it. And I think that's like where a lot of people can self-reflect. They can be like, well, why does this make me angry? And then when you actually self-reflect,
I do that to myself sometimes. I'm like,
and then you realize you're like, this
I'm
makes me
why am I
angry for no
fucking
reason.
angry? Yeah. I was like, why the fuck am I even angry? This makes no sense. But then I get a little bit angry that I'm angry, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
Like, fuck, I'm mad.
Yes.
That I'm mad. I'm mad
Yeah,
about
like,
dumb shit, and now I'm mad
like,
over being
actually.
mad. Yeah, no, I mean, dude, listen, I'm not even gonna get started on how I got angry as fuck at the end of stream last night.
Wait, what
But
happened?
okay, this is gonna be way too long of a conversation to really elaborate. This is a whole different topic on
TLDR.
another day. TLDR, there are a lot of people that are gonna get taken advantage of by a new company, and I'm not a fan of it. And part of me wants to call the bullshit out. The other part of me just doesn't want to deal with the bullshit either. And so I'm kind of avoiding it because I recognize some red flags in a new company that was announced. And I recognize these red flags because I was there at one point where I thought these organizations were legit. I thought they gave a fuck when really it's just the people at the top that are trying to fucking benefit and make money, and no one underneath actually fucking benefits. But they use the people
to benefit
exactly,
themselves.
and they use the people underneath to benefit.
When the pyramid scheme?
Essentially, and so we can't really go into detail on it. I went over it for about an hour and a half yesterday on stream. At the end of the stream,
you were waffling for an hour,
dude, it was bad. I actually got like genuinely like pissed off because I know I know it's bullshit, and it took me 5 minutes to sniff out the bullshit. But that's another story for another day. There's a lot to get into
we'll
that.
Come back to that. Yeah,
we do have an ad break coming up in 2 minutes here. And then post ad break we'll go into we'll dive into the new kick updates and what that entails.
I'm mad.
Chat, welcome back from the motherfucking ad break. Those of you guys that were on the ad break, this is What in the Podcast, episode 3 with me, your boy CrossFireX, and your boy Jimmy. And we were just waffling about some shit that doesn't even matter during the ad break. If you guys didn't receive an ad, then you know what we were waffling about. But I promise you guys didn't miss anything important in terms of the podcast. I appreciate everybody that is here, that is tuning into the podcast, tuning in, tuning out, and hanging out with us and contributing to the overall conversation via chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoy it. We're gonna get back on topic before I lose my fucking mind over.
Hey, man.
Dude,
calm down. You're loud, bro.
I'm mad, bro.
You're loud.
I'm rightfully angry. I'm re-mad from last night. It's a continuance of last night. But nonetheless, let's bring it down a notch. Let's move this. We're gonna have a whole dude. I need to call CoffeeZilla, and I'm gonna sell him this video. I need to call CoffeeZilla, and I'm gonna sell him this video.
You need to get
because
I need you.
He needs to debunk this shit. This has got artesian builds written all fucking over it again, and so it's bad. Anyways, that's besides the point. That it doesn't matter anymore. Let's talk about Kick. Let's talk about some good
what do you want
in
to
the
talk
streaming
about,
world. Let's talk about Kick, man. Did you hear
Did
some
I
of the
hear?
future updates that they're going to be coming out with on Kick in terms of gambling?
I saw on Twitter that there was a bug, I guess, that like every third recommended was like a gambling thingy, but I think that's since been fixed.
I don't.
That's all I've seen.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bug per se. I think that was by design, and I think they since changed their stance on that, based off of community sentiment and just word in the public eye. There was a situation on Kick where if you went to Kick at any given time, on the left hand side you see the recommended feed. At any given time, that feed would have 1 to 2 slot streamers in it, and people were pretty visibly upset about this. Well, Kick got to work. Steak Eddie, Kick Andrew, the guys at the top got to work, man, and they hopped into a call. They said it took them 30 minutes to come to a conclusion about the right steps in moving forward. And the conclusion that they came up with was that it's unnecessary exposure to gambling related content. They don't actually want that on their recommended formulas. So in the future, they're going to be adding the ability to toggle all gambling streams off on the platform. So if somebody out there that's listening right now doesn't want to see the gambling, in the future, they won't have to. They won't have to. It won't even be an option. You could turn it off and not have to worry about seeing any type of gambling. And I think that's something Twitch should do. I think that's something that Twitch 100% should do, especially when you consider Twitch has a DraftKings sponsorship, and when you look at all that involved, I think that's something that's important. We're talking about gambling affecting young adults and young kids and targeting them, right?
Yeah, is it just for the gambling, or is it going to be like any? Let's say I don't mess with. Let me just say the Rust category. Let's say I don't fuck with them.
No,
can I turn that off too?
No,
or is it
from
just
my
gambling?
understanding, it's just gambling. Yeah, from my understanding, it's just gambling. To reduce.
Kind of weird if it's just gambling.
No, I don't think it's weird. I think it's smart. You have the option to turn it on or off.
Oh yeah, I'm not arguing that. I'm just
no. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that, so I guess I would ask, why do you think it's weird that it's just gambling?
Just because it's just like one thing. If I have the ability to turn off gambling, you would think I would want to turn something off if I don't want to see it, like out of sight, out of mind. Like for example, another one. What if I don't really like the pools and hot tubs category?
Dude,
what if I don't want to see that?
How did I know that was coming?
Yeah. What if I'm, what if I'm of the, devout Christian? I don't want to see any of that. Can I block that too?
Yeah, I don't think
that's why I think it's.
I don't think that's something they're looking at. But if you're a devout Christian, why are you clicking on the pools and hot tub category in the first place? You know what you're gonna see when you go there.
No,
that's like saying I'm a devout Christian, but I logged into Pornhub one time. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I was trying to save them in the comment. No, I'm just kidding.
But no, I mean, I think that's a great step forward is the ability to remove the site of all gambling, but not only that, they changed the algorithm around their recommended formula. They have reduced that unnecessary exposure, and this comes directly from the head. This comes directly from Steak Eddie, and we'll bring this up so you guys can see it as well. This comes directly from the head. And I'll read the tweet. It says, "We're rolling out some extra view count protection on Kick streaming."
Oh, you pulled it up.
This should help combat view count manipulation. This is a huge thing. This was an issue. The early days of Twitch, this happened to be an early issue on Kick as well. If you opened up another tab, it counted you as another viewer on a stream. And so essentially people could have 10 viewers and they could open 20 tabs on their Google Chrome, and all of a sudden they've got 30 viewers, give it enough time. And so this was artificially inflating the view count. And a lot of people were blaming this on view botting. And I think a lot of people just, dude, the thing that is crazy to me is that people blame view botting, but you can't actually prove if it's true or not, if it's view botting, because there's no viewers list on Kick, so you can't see that.
Yeah,
right
there
now.
is no viewers list.
You can't see that at this moment.
They are they gonna add that soon? Because
I believe. I think that's something that they're gonna move forward to. I think the biggest thing, like why people accuse it of view botting, is just because one person in the space was like, yeah, they're view botting their streamers to make the website look better, and then everybody else just jumped on that train. I think that you see a lot of that. No one actually looks for facts.
Yeah, that was like very anti-Kick.
Yeah, because
so people are
trying to shut it down.
People are grasping at anything. So they're like, oh, this person said this. let me just believe it 100%.
Yeah, people
any
100% were just trying to discredit the website in any way that they could. And so continuing on topic, so they said, rest assured, the community is still growing and we're staying committed to ensuring we maintain a fair landscape for creators. So they're still sticking with their creator first mindset. They genuinely, from what it looks like at this very moment, they genuinely want to help creators. And so, yeah, that's really good. That's great news for anybody who is a content creator, because you know that they, like, at least at this very moment, they have us in mind. And that's more than we could say for other platforms, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you consider what's going on with Twitter right now. So, They said the main problem has been solved in relation to the tabbing and the abuse that came with that. I actually also saw a tweet that someone was rate limited and they sent in a email to support, and support said, well, your account is under investigation. You have been shadow banned because your account is under investigation of potentially view botting.
View botting on Twitter?
On Kick.
Oh.
On Kick. I saw a tweet. Yeah, because I said I saw a tweet. So I saw a tweet of a streamer that was having issues. He's like, why am I shadow banned? So he sent an email into Kick, and they straight up told him. They didn't lie. They weren't about on the bush. They said, you're shadow banned because we believe you're view botting or view manipulating. And so they're investigating the account. They shadow banned the person, and they're looking into it. I thought that was interesting. I like the transparency. I don't know how I feel about the idea of shadow banning, but I like the transparency.
Yeah. Did he not know he was shadow banned until he reached out to support? Because that's kind of like...
I don't know the concept of shadow banning on Kick. I don't know what that entails, and I don't know how you would find out if you're shadow banned. Like, how does one figure that out?
I guess you're not popping off. But I mean, if he was...
But if you're view botting, how do you...
You don't really know.
You don't really know. Right?
You don't really know. There's no viewer list. There's nothing to really... Is there like Kick like statistic websites?
There is.
No,
there is. It's streamscharts.com. And they have all stats on Kick. They do all stats on all streaming platforms. Like I think they do YouTube. They've got Twitch on there. We were looking at it. Remember that day when we found out like it had my personal information, like my name and all of that, and we looked up your name too on that list. It's the same website.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it's the same website. They do Kick stuff too. So.
Okay.
We're going to swap back to the duo scene here. But yeah, so I thought that was really good to see, like coming out of straight from the head honcho, coming out of Kick Eddie himself. Really, really awesome that they're taking care of that stuff. And they're letting us know that they're taking care of that stuff. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like I feel like stuff like that on Twitch maybe would have just been kind of swept under the rug, just behind the scenes. I don't know. You know, Twitch communication has been bad for a long time, so it's a breath of fresh air to see that communication.
It is refreshing, yeah, because they're just laying it out for you right now. Whereas Twitch, there's a bunch of like hoops and stuff. It's not really like clear. But with Kick, it's like, this is what's happening. We understand. Here's what we're gonna do, and then usually it's like a positive result that comes out of it. Yeah, with the tabbing and the gambling toggle that's gonna happen.
You know what else is really nice? And on top of Kick being transparent and talking about the updates that they're making to the platform, it's no stranger to us. The Kick mobile app is bad. It's bad. I
only used it to watch your stream one time.
It's buggy.
That bad.
It's really buggy. Sometimes your chat box will be dark. Like they'll be
really?
like, yeah. Sometimes there'll be like a
maybe
filter.
I haven't used it enough.
There'll be like a filter over your chat box where all of the chat messages are really dark, but the stream is still fine. And then sometimes you'll click a notification, and it'll pull up the Kick app, but then it'll just spin. And it'll spin, and it won't actually load the channel. I've had a lot of issues with the Kick app, and personally, no stranger, you can't sub on the Kick app either right now. So there's a lot. The Kick app in general just isn't very good. But rest assured, Kick is already announced.
It's very early, you know.
It is extremely early. 7 months.
We can't describe.
Yeah, 7 months. It's incredibly early. But rest assured, Kick has got us fucking covered. They already figured it out, and they let us know. They said, hey, we're currently working on a complete app overhaul to ensure you have the best possible experience. Hang tight. we will deliver.
We will deliver.
I think that's incredible. They didn't have much to say, but they said everything they needed to say. Like, hey, we get it. The app's not good. We're going to fix it.
Yeah. It's keeping us in the loop too. That's huge as well.
Yeah, because they didn't have to say that. People could have just continued for the next 6 months with a dog shit app. Eventually a new app would have come out that's better, or an update would have come out that's better, and everybody would have forgotten about it. Instead, they're like, hey, we acknowledge, like, this is bad right now. We're going to work on it. And that was something that Eddie actually talked a lot about in his interview from a couple weeks ago. They're working on the core product. That's their main focus right now. Trying to get the core product to a place that people are satisfied. And I think that's huge. I think their head is in the right spot on the different things that they want to work on and what they need to work on. I think that's incredible when you think about a platform. Especially a platform that people are writing off and trying to say, this is another Mixer. This is going to fall apart. And yeah, it's incredible, dude. I'm glad with everything that I see.
Yeah, if it was going to fall apart, I think it would have fell apart already. There's been too many W's in that Kick has done that it's like, you kind of have to like.
Timing is everything.
You can't hate on it for so long just to hate on it, you know?
Dude,
you know what's
really good? You know what's incredibly
people
hard?
People are very anti-Kick, and they just want to like be on Twitch. If it's not on Twitch, they don't care.
No, yeah, I agree. You know what else is incredibly hard right now for me?
It's hard.
Being impartial to the platform, right?
Okay.
I really enjoy Kick right now. I really enjoy streaming over there. I really enjoy the amount of love and the support I've seen over there. I really enjoy everything I'm hearing from Steak Eddie. I really enjoy what we're seeing pushed out on the main socials. I see a lot from Kick Andrew. I'm enjoying what I'm hearing from other content creators that have gone to Kick and that have experienced that. And so, not to say I'm biased towards Kick, because I haven't been there long enough to even have some sort of bias, but I see so much good that I guess in a sense, people could argue like, well, how do you know you're not becoming blind to the bullshit? But I've been trying to be completely open about it and like just completely like acknowledging like there are issues, there are glaring issues, there are things that need to get taken care of. I actually think we should start a X amount of days since Aiden Ross incident, because even he has kind of shaped up a little bit.
Really? I haven't seen much of him.
Okay, so please don't shame me for this. I tuned into an Aiden Ross stream.
Why would I shame you?
Because I talk a lot of shit on Aiden Ross.
So, but you're the one that always says I watch. I mean, you're the person that always says I follow people that I don't like just because I like seeing the other side.
No. I do not follow him. Okay.
Oh,
I'm just putting it out there in the space. I just make sure everybody knows. Okay. I do not follow this motherfucker. I did hate watch him though. I did go there.
Look at channel points.
I hate to admit this. I went there expecting some bullshit, and when I didn't get bullshit, I was like, wait a minute.
You were mad?
No, I wasn't mad. I was like, hold on a second. Maybe he is turning a page in his book. Maybe he is trying to move away from the edgy bullshit content. Maybe he really is trying.
Stream, though.
Well, it was one stream, you know. That's why I said maybe. That's why I said maybe, right?
Yeah,
and so, know. But, you know, that's why I said maybe we need to have a counter. How many days since the last Aiden Ross incident? Because when's the last time you heard something about it? Last thing I heard was when he was telling people to kill themselves on Twitter. I haven't seen anything since. Now, that's a crazy, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Yeah.
I mean, and because I think this is a good comment to address, he said, you must not have seen Aiden Ross do community night with his community. It was just racist jokes. No, I mean, like, listen, I'm speaking off my one experience that I had when I went to go and see that stream. I tuned in on a good night. I'm not saying that all of his shit has been fixed. I'm saying in general, from what I've seen, things are really good on Kick, in my opinion, right now. More content creators are moving. More viewers are willing to check it out and give it a shot. The platform is actively growing, and that's more than we could ever say about Mixer. Mixer didn't really grow. Trovo Live has been around for over a year, well over a year, and they haven't had the success. They haven't had this anywhere near the success that Kick has had. And so I think Kick has a potential to really become a competitor in the scene. 100%. I think Kick could be the future of live streaming. I think that's a possibility. Now, I don't think Twitch is ever going to lose their dominant role in the space. I don't think that's the case. Twitch would have to monumentally fuck up.
So it's going to be like PlayStation and Xbox. They're two titans in the gaming industry, but in the streamer world, it'll be Twitch.
Yeah, because I think right now people look at that as like people look at that as Twitch and YouTube as the two titans, right? In that sense, but I think
forgot about YouTube. I should have said that.
No, I don't think you should have, because YouTube live streaming isn't crazy. They have poor live streaming features. They don't really like, think about it. When you go on
Kick, the UI is pretty bad.
When you go on Kick, you hit the browse section. You go find a bunch of live streams for whatever the fuck you want to find. When you go on YouTube, there's no browse for categories. There's no category section on YouTube. If there is, I don't fucking know where it's at.
The person already.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
If there is, I don't know where the. Have you ever seen a browse section to just go find a specific game to watch a live streamer on YouTube? No, it's dog shit. They're not even trying that. So I genuinely believe Kick has an opportunity for it to be the two streaming giants. And I'm not like, YouTube is a giant. I don't think YouTube's ever going to be like falling off
for streaming,
but for live streaming, I do think there is a world in which Twitch and Kick exist, and where Kick has more of a share of the market. 100%. I think it'll take a while, but I definitely think there's a world where that exists. You know what else? You know another reason why I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm biased to Kick right now, because I've been a Twitch. Today is my 9-year Twitch partner anniversary. So it's crazy to even have that conversation, right? Yeah. But the reason why I think that another aspect to Kick that I really like, I got paid.
Oh yeah, how did you get paid? Is it a net 10, net 15, net, like, how did you get paid? Did you get paid in Dogecoin? Did you get paid in Safecoin? What was that one coin that CX had? What did you get paid in?
There is no net.
Did you get paid?
The end of the month hit, and I got a text message that says, "Hey, your payout is on the way."
What the? So that the end of the month.
At the end of the month, my payout date on my Stripe account, because with Kick, when you sign up, you have to sign up with the Stripe account in order to get paid. It's direct deposit to your bank account through Stripe.
Okay, what is Stripe though?
So Stripe is Stripe is a payment processor. It's actually nothing new for me. I got paid through my 2 White Castle ads. Got paid through Stripe. Fourth Wall pays me every month through Stripe. They're a payment processor, kind of like PayPal. Some businesses use it. You can do invoices and stuff. You set up a business on Stripe and you set up your bank accounts, and they'll direct deposit you your money. I already had that all set up because I had used it multiple times in the past. I get a payment every month from Fourth Wall when we sell merch and merch gifts and all that stuff. And then when I did the 2 White Castle ads, we used Stripe. Well, Kick uses Stripe as well. And
so it's like PayPal.
Yeah, and so it's a direct deposit directly to my bank account. And yeah, when I went on my Stripe account July 1st to see when I would get paid by Kick, it said your payment date will show up on July 3rd.
July 3rd. That's crazy.
3
If you guys
days.
didn't know, on Twitch, it's a net 15. So at the end of the month, 15 days from the first, depending on like a weekend, you might get it earlier or later. But yes, you get paid 15 days later.
15 days later.
He got paid. Well, he's getting paid 3 days.
3 days.
That's crazy.
So I can't even, I'm not going to say it's net 3 because I don't even know if it's net 3. I've actually read stuff on Twitter where people get paid on the first of the month. Like when your bills are due, people get paid from Kick on the first of the month usually. And there was an issue. There was actually, so this is actually what kind of blew my mind a little bit more too. There was an issue with Kick payments this month. Some people were being told that they weren't going to get paid until July 31st. People got really concerned, really worried. Kick staff was on Twitter responding. Actually, his name was Kick Pauly. On Twitter responding. He said, don't worry about it. He said, check your payment date. If it says the 31st, let me know. I'll see to it that you're paid as normal. They were on Twitter responding to everybody that had issues, letting them know, don't worry about it. You're going to get your money. We're going to get your payment to you ASAP. We're going to get your money to you, like, no problem whatsoever. And there were people that were genuinely concerned, and they squashed the concerns right away. And they said, hey, look, it's just an issue right now with Stripe. We're trying to take care of it. They're going to pay you. And so I think that
that's crazy.
I think that's incredibly crazy. I couldn't believe it. I come from a place on Twitch where I used to get paid net 45 days after the end of the month.
Yeah, 45 days crazy. Every time you bring it up, I'm like, damn,
bro, when you're a
the amount of planning you have
creator,
to do,
you're planning 2 months out.
Yeah.
For
2 months out.
You go,
Yeah.
you have your biggest month ever. Let's just say June of 2023 was your biggest month ever.
Yeah, you get
thousands.
Fat subbies.
And let's just say you need that money. Let's say that money's super important, right? People need to make money. People who do this full time, they need to make money. People are doing this as a side hustle. They need to make money. Like, you need money to survive. You need food. You need clothes. You need to pay your bills. Money at the end of the day, as much as people want to say that like the money doesn't matter, no matter what, the money always fucking matters. If the money didn't matter, then you would fucking live in a tent and you would trade for your shit. Like, you wouldn't care. Like, the money mattered. You gotta be able to move that money around and have the money available when you need it. And so when you have your biggest month, okay, back in the net 45 days, I remember I had a day, it wasn't my, okay, let's give context. It was back then, it was my biggest month ever. But I had a month where I made over $4,000 on Twitch. And I really, really needed the money at the time. I started full-time streaming a lot earlier than I should have, but I really, really needed the money at the time.
Yeah.
I had to factor in, I knew I wasn't going to get the money right away. I knew that wasn't going to be the case. But I had to factor in, okay, there's 30 days in the month. Now I have to count 45 more days since the month ended. That's a month and then half of a month to get that pay. And so you need money for that month's bills, but then you need money for the next month's bills too.
Yeah.
And so tips were king back then. That's not really the case anymore because we got net 15 and net 15 is huge. So that's not, that doesn't really matter anymore. But
yeah,
just to be paid that quick, is incredible. Like,
it's actually surprising.
Incredible.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was shocked. I was super shocked. Chat, we do have an ad break coming up in 2 minutes, 48 seconds. I see we got some questions in chat. So we'll take a second to acknowledge some questions in chat because we do have an ad break coming up, and we'll continue on with the topic at hand after the ad break. For those of you that are new to our podcast, we typically don't read chat during the actual podcast segments. We do take a moment at every ad break to read chat and catch up with you guys, so we appreciate you guys chatting. Just know your messages, we do see them, even though we don't respond to them right away. We do indeed see them. We do look at them, and we do like to answer questions and stuff like that. So 100%, just know. So if it seems like we're ignoring you, we're not. We just prefer to do that during the ad breaks. We have a lot more to talk about still on today's podcast. We are going to get back into it. So those of you that are just now coming back from the ad break, welcome back to What in the Podcast with your boy Jimmy and myself, CrossFireX, long-time streamer, long-time gamer, and we just, we like to shoot the shit here. So if you guys are new, welcome in. You're tuning into a great conversation, and we'll break back into the combo. Where did we fully leave out? We were talking about Kick, right? Do you remember 100%?
Payout.
Yeah, dude. I just was really surprised. I just wasn't expecting to see money that fast. I was thinking net 15.
Yeah, minimum. I was thinking net 15. Yeah,
I was thinking maybe even net 30 would be reasonable, right? But because newer company,
the standard would be 15 to rival, but getting paid 3 days is pretty amazing. Like, I don't know. With the amount of money that you get from the split, and you're getting paid faster than you would on Twitch, it's like, wait, hold up,
yeah, dude. It's
so like a lot of people stream for like. They stream because they want to stream, but also money is a factor. But having more money and having it sooner, I guess
it just makes it easier. It takes the stress off.
The financial stress that comes with, somebody who maybe doesn't have a lot of money and then relies on the streaming to pay for the bills.
Well, the other thing too is like, okay, so a lot of so there is that sentiment in the community where people are like, well, people are going to Kick just because they want money. But if you think about it this way, let's say you're an aspiring full-time streamer, and on Twitch, let's say you have 250 subs, and that 250 subs is, let's just do the math so I don't just waffle any random numbers. So you, let's say on Twitch you have, let's say you've been killing it on the Twitch game, and you want to be a full-time streamer, and that's your goal, and you have 250 subs on Twitch, and so that's paying you $622. But let's say you need 1,000 a month, right? And I'm just throwing numbers out there, but let's say you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of expenses and you can get by with 1,000 a month to be a full-time streamer, right? And that's your goal. Well, on Kick, 250 subs is 1,200 a month, and so
yeah, it's pretty substantial.
It's extra money on top of that. And so if you were able to successfully build back up on Kick or even move your community over there, even if you get, let's say you have 250 subs, let's say you go to Kick and you only have 150 subs, you're still looking at $100 more a month than what you were originally getting on Twitch. And so it is allowing people to become content creators and actually make a living with their hard work. They don't have somebody dipping into their pockets and taking all of that money. Not only that, but people are going to be more inclined to support you, especially knowing you're getting more of that money. I don't know how many, like, so many people in my experience double supported on Kick because they know I'm getting more of that money.
Yeah, because on Twitch you basically sub to not receive ads. You know?
To not receive ads, right?
You don't want to receive ads, plus you want to support the creator. But like on Kick right now, I mean, eventually ads are gonna come into play, but you don't watch ads on Kick right now because there is no ads.
And ads are gonna be different on Kick too.
Yeah, they're actually gonna be different. And then the bigger split is just like, it's crazy, like the support, like you're actually supporting your creator.
That's just the baseline right now. That's just a 95-5 baseline split. They have something called Kicks that they're eventually going to come out with, and that's down the line. That could be a year from now. We don't really know. Mm-hmm. But also, we haven't even talked about the creator incentive program.
Is that the hourly?
That's the hourly.
That's pretty interesting.
Based off of active chatters, based off of viewership, based off of followers. There's a number of factors that are going to go into play, but they're going to pay you an hourly wage to also be a streamer there. There's a lot of unknowns with that, and so I'm not like, we don't even know what that's going to look like, but there's more opportunity to make a living being a full-time streamer on Kick right now, especially because there is less saturation at this very moment. At this very moment, people are building communities because you're not competing with thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of streamers in every single category. And so there's an opportunity for people who are genuinely making good content to be seen and to actually do it.
Yeah, like everybody kind of knew this, but like there was always that negative sentiment of Kick in the beginning. You know, everybody was apprehensive, but it's just like Kick's just coming out with,
there's just so much misinformation
and being, like it's just so much good stuff is happening that you kind of be like, oh wait, hold up, wait a minute, like, okay, like I know this going in. A lot of people were like, nah, I don't want to be on Kick, but now it's just like, I don't know, I'm waffling. I lost my train of thought.
You know what else is like? I guess another thing that I can say that has been like a really good experience in terms of Kick. Have you heard about the Facebook partnership stuff?
No, I heard that a bunch of creators got they got taken away, but that's all I've heard. I didn't even know there was a Facebook partnership to begin with.
Well, yeah. So like Facebook was trying to get into the streaming game when they started acquiring streamers a couple of years ago. And so there was a legitimate method of like acquiring Facebook partnership and having a contract and being paid to stream there. Well, I guess sometime around November of 2021, Facebook started to go downhill. Their methods of support were broken. They weren't working. People couldn't properly support their streamers through means of the platform because they weren't working and it wasn't getting fixed. So things started to go downhill really fast. Like we're talking like subbing, right? People couldn't properly sub because it wasn't working to allow people to sub.
And they never fixed it?
As far as I've heard, I've seen so much. But there were a lot of streamers who terminated their contract with Facebook Gaming or didn't have a choice. Their contract is up and Facebook isn't coming to an agreement with them to renew their contract. And so there's been a lot of Facebook streamers that are kind of in this area right now where
limbo.
They're struggling to make money. Their viewership is down because the website was lacking in the necessary means to keep things rolling good. But then also, they don't know if they should go to Twitch. They don't know if they should go to YouTube. They don't know if they should go to Kick. They didn't already diversify their content. And so now they no longer really have a voice on their Facebook. And they don't know how to move all these people to a new platform so that they can continue doing this full time.
Yeah, essentially it's like starting all over, which kind of sucks.
And there has been sentiment.
That sucks.
There has been sentiment where people are Actually, I'll pull the tweets up.
Pull
There's
the
been
tweets
sentiment where people wish they would have diversified sooner. And this is a big thing that with all of the Kick versus Twitch versus this versus that, this is why I've been the biggest proponent of people need to stop putting all their eggs in one basket. And you have to start diversifying your content if you want to do this full time. If you don't and you just do this for fun, then who gives a fuck, right? Do whatever the fuck you want because you're just doing it for fun at the end of the day and it doesn't matter. But diversifying your content has never been a negative thing. Streaming on Twitch and then streaming on Kick and then going and doing YouTube live streams, that's the fucking most smartest thing you could do. You're tapping 3 different audiences and just genuinely building your brand awareness and your brand presence. Why wouldn't any business want to do that? Operate like a business, not like a creator, not like a live streamer. And so you have these people right now that are confused. They don't know what to do. Everything comes to an end on 6/30/23. I will no longer be a Facebook partner. It's sad because us content creators made Facebook gaming, and for them to rip our partnership benefits away from us after 4 years is just crazy. When one door closes, one door opens with better opportunities. Kick has seen this as a big advantage. Kick has reached out to a lot of these creators. Yeah, they have been trying to figure out ways that they can get them onto Kick and get them back in the saddle of being a content creator and being able to stream and doing what they do best and not having to worry about this bullshit. There's a lot with it.
The community outreach from Kick is like massive. That's crazy that they're reaching out to these individuals that lost
voices, I guess you could say. They kind of lost their voice in a sense. And then so you got, I did so well on Facebook gaming, they offered me a contract renewal of $0, but wanted a set amount of hours a month and more reels than I currently posted. They wanted to renew his contract for no money and more work.
Why would anyone ever agree to that? That's almost an insult to like ask that.
It's a massive insult. Who the fuck is running things over there? Mark Zuckerberg? Nah, can't be. Who'd they put in place to run the Facebook partnerships?
It's so scummy.
And there's a lot.
I'm mad for them.
Yeah, I mean, like who wouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
People just this just goes to show you why it's more important now than ever. If any of you guys think that these corporations give a fuck, these massive corporations, they don't. And now some of you guys might go, well, who's to say Kick won't down the line? I don't know. I can't operate down what could fucking happen. I can only operate on what I have right now and what I know right now. And I can only make the best decision for me and myself and my family off of what I know right now. I can't live my life in fear, so I can't be worried about what ifs, which is exactly why diversifying your content is the most important thing you can do as a content creator. These are just many. And these are just a handful of the Facebook gaming partners. There's many more.
Yeah. How big was Facebook gaming?
It was pretty big. They acquired all of the GTA RP no pixel streamers that were popping on Twitch, like Rami, Rated Epics, Lord Kevin. They all got acquired by Facebook and went over there to stream GTA RP. All of them. Like Facebook picked up tons of streamers. Tons. And they were legitimate people. Darkness 429 is another name that comes to mind. And there were legitimate people that went to Facebook, that moved away from Twitch, went to Facebook. These are people that could have gotten offers for YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Facebook reached out first, gave them the best offer, and they took it. And now it's all being pulled out from underneath them, which makes me kind of feel like Twitch has been making a lot of policy changes and a lot of, like, I don't even have I had, up until a month ago, I had my original Twitch partnership contract from 2014. 9 years. 9 years tomorrow. I don't have that contract anymore. It is now turned into the monetized streamer agreement. And upon signing it, which I had to sign to keep my Twitch partnership, by the way, upon signing it, automatically voids my old contract. Automatically. If you're an affiliate, you didn't even get to sign it. If you stream on Twitch as an affiliate, post that monetized streamer agreement coming out, you've already agreed to the terms. That's in that contract. It's in there. If you're an affiliate, you've already agreed. You don't even get a choice. And there's a lot in that monetized streamer agreement that is very, very sus. There's a lot in there that leaves open to judgment of someone at Twitch that says, hey, your content,
No, we
your
don't like
quality is
you.
not up to snuff. We're gonna remove your
Yeah, that
partnership.
quality. Yeah.
And it's right there in the contract. We went over this on the last podcast. I'm not going to do it again.
Podcast.
You guys can go and check out the previous episodes on YouTube, but we went over this in the last podcast. It's right there in the contract. We showed the proof. We showed the pudding. And so when you've got stuff like this going on, it's such a murky landscape, man. It's just, and I feel bad for all those Facebook streamers, man.
Yeah, I feel bad for them too. A lot of stuff is happening in the streaming world right now. It's pretty crazy, but
it's a lot, dude. It's like, you don't know, like, how do you make decisions in a space that is optimized to be against you, especially if you're a smaller creator. Right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's harder for a smaller creator.
I guess there's so much craziness, and so it's sad to see shit like that happen. And then, like, you know, on the topic of Twitch, we talked about this earlier today in the pre-podcast stream. I am concerned about TwitchCon NA. A lot of you guys know we were planning to go to TwitchCon NA, and me and the boys are kind of looking at it like, why don't we just go on vacation together and go somewhere else?
We might ditch because we haven't heard anything about TwitchCon. Like, tickets aren't on sale. They just told us Vegas and then nothing else.
Yeah,
that is it. There's no news, no nothing.
Tickets usually are on sale by now. As someone who's gone to TwitchCon 4 times already, tickets are usually on sale back in April, even May, June at the latest. We're in July, and we still haven't heard anything else about TwitchCon NA. I don't even think I've seen a call for content for TwitchCon NA on Twitter.
No.
But now, I get it. They're all focusing on TwitchCon Paris right now. But that brings me to my next point. France is in fucking shambles. France is in shambles.
With all this shit going on right now, and then they posted that they're still gonna go with they're still gonna host a convention.
Twitch's statement.
Yeah, pull up the statement.
Twitch's statement is the wildness on this.
Yeah.
We're closely monitoring the protests taking place in and around Paris. In and around Paris is the first thing in this post.
In and around.
To quote, the safety and security of our community and staff is always and will continue to be our top priority. At this time, there's no anticipated impact to TwitchCon Paris. It's coming up very soon. Do we have the dates? The venue is not near the epicenter of the protests or any of the areas that have seen protest activity. Quote this. The venue is not near the epicenter of the protests or any of the areas that have seen protest activity and has continued to operate business as usual. We're getting regular updates from the ground and will communicate any changes to our TwitchCon plans. We look forward to seeing you soon, the TwitchCon team. Here's the problem with that statement. I'm going to pull up another tweet out of our flow map.
Okay. Well, it's July 8th is when it's happening.
This week.
Still 6 days.
This is Shannon Plant. She runs things for Sacriel. You guys know who Sacriel is. If I'm not mistaken, she's also the wife of Sacriel. Sacriel, very popular Twitch streamer, very successful streamer in the Twitch sphere. Over the years, she has posted a lot of credible information. Lots of credible information. This is a map she posted of the current riots and fires
happening right now.
that are happening in Paris. She drew a line of where the venue is in Paris for TwitchCon. Look at the fucking dots around it.
Look at the dots right there, right to the right of it. There's like 5 of them. That's pretty alarming.
If I'm going to TwitchCon Paris, I want a refund. I don't want to go to that. France is on fire.
There's still 6 days. I mean, but still.
It is chaotic as hell, and there's no reason. There's been nothing out there in the space to tell me that it's not going to be even more chaotic in 6 days. It's crazy.
Kind of reminds me of like when the Olympics happened, and I think it was 2016. I think it was in Brazil. There was crime all over the place around the stadium and stuff, and they just brushed it under the rug. It was like, yeah, whatever.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah, like it's nothing. There's people getting robbed outside the fucking stadium, dude. And if the riots are still happening, that could still happen.
Well, and like cop cars are getting stolen. There's people, dude. I saw a fucking picture of like 6 guys hanging out of a police van, driving around in France.
Jesus. Oh my god.
It is absolutely wild in France right now. And Twitch's response is, we're closely monitoring the protests, and at this current time, there's no anticipated impact. The venue's not near, or even the epicenter of the protests aren't near the venue. But that is a sack of shit. And it's a sack of shit, and everybody knows it's a sack of shit because Twitch has money to lose here. So of course they don't want to cancel TwitchCon. They don't want to refund all those tickets.
It's definitely a PR post.
They don't want to refund all those tickets.
When did the riots happen?
They've been going on for the last week.
For the last week?
There was a 17-year-old boy that was shot and killed by police in France, and that's why these riots started.
Oh, okay.
That's what these are all about.
I don't know how. Yeah, I didn't know how it started or when did it start. But I mean, it's not their fault that happened. But still, they should address it more. Like I said, that was a PR post. Nothing was really said. It was just like, yeah, it's still gonna go on.
Yeah, and so with that being in mind, with everything going on, I just don't feel comfortable going to TwitchCon this year. And so I want to go because I want to see everybody. And every year there are people that come out to come see me at TwitchCon and come and hang out, and we have a good ass time. And I've had a great time at TwitchCon. TwitchCon was one of the craziest experiences of my life. Every 4 years, all 4 years I've gone, I've had crazy good experiences. But it doesn't seem like the move right now. We haven't heard anything. I don't know anything about the venue. Vegas is already a crazy place.
Yeah, it's a lot of uncertainty. I always wanted to go to TwitchCon.
There's so much uncertainty.
Ever since Long Beach, because I was actually there in Long Beach.
Same.
When that happened.
Same.
But I wasn't really into Twitch, so I was like,
I was there.
I'm not gonna go. Yeah, I know you were. That's crazy because like I seen people with the badges like eating at places and stuff. We probably saw each other and didn't even know. But anyways, like I've always wanted to go, but like it's more of like the people, like obviously you and other creators that I've met in this space. Like
yeah, I agree, and the homies.
So like the move to like maybe just ditch TwitchCon and maybe just do a separate vacation is more alluring because it's, you know,
that's what matters the most.
In the dark with all the shit happening with Twitch right now. It doesn't seem like the play.
Well, and like also, and this is kind of like a factor for me. This is a non-factor for other people, but also like in the past, apparently Twitch got rid of the partner discount on TwitchCon tickets. So as a partner, it's even more expensive to go. We basically partners make the event. That's how they sell so many tickets, is because of partners. People aren't going there because they want to go to a gaming convention. Like that's half of it. I mean, but they go
half of it. But
dude, Twitch sells meet and greets. Like they line up all of the biggest streamers, and they have massive meet and greets, and they have massive reservations for them. Large part of the reason why people go to TwitchCon is for the community.
Yeah, the viewers go to meet their favorite creators.
Yeah,
by far.
The convention itself is just I could tell you right now, in my experience, a lot of people I've talked to, they buy 3-day tickets. They go to TwitchCon Saturday. They pop in for an hour, 2 hours Sunday. Or they go to TwitchCon Friday. They pop in for an hour, 2 hours Saturday. And then Sunday, they don't even go. They just hang out with everybody because you've already seen everything.
Because you've already seen
TwitchCon
everything.
is
you've
dead.
Already met everybody.
It's dead on Sundays. From experience, you go to the convention on Sunday, you walk in there, you walk around and just kind of lurk, and there's not very many people. Like you're talking, you go from being congested
I don't have anything better to
do.
Might as well just go because I spent money on this ticket.
You go from being congested as fuck to wow, there's space to move around freely.
Ghost town.
It's a ghost town. Yeah, it's quite literally the definition. It's literally a ghost town in there. There's shows you can watch, but for the most part, Sunday people use as an opportunity to hang out with all their friends, go get dinner and go do fun shit before they all fly out on Monday. Some people even leave on Sundays. Some people literally fly out Sunday night. Like they don't even stay there the whole weekend. And so, dude, sense. It's just, I'm looking at it. I'm like, why do we go to TwitchCon? Our viewers that aren't going to TwitchCon, they don't care if we're at TwitchCon doing a vlog. They care if we're just all together doing a vlog or doing a live podcast. They don't care if we're there at TCon. So why spend the money to go to TwitchCon? We could just go on a vacation with the homies together. We can take Ryder, Toby, myself, Tabby, you, and we can and we already had more. Tra even said he doesn't fuck with TwitchCon. Even Tra's like, yo, if we're gonna go to a B&B and just go on vacay, I'm in. Let's go. And so we have more people that are more interested in just having a community meetup and saying fuck TwitchCon. And so like I'm at a point right now where I don't know if I want to go, which is weird because I used to love going to TwitchCon. That used to be I would look forward to it every single year, and I don't know if I want to go.
It sucks for me because I wanted to go, but it's looking like not the play. I've always wanted to go, just as like.
And I think it's the same for like Toby and Ryder too, right? Like they want to go too, but TwitchCon isn't the same thing that it used to be, and I get why people want to go. And I don't think that.
It's more the name, or the atmosphere.
Well, a large part of why people go to TwitchCon too is the after party. They always announce a big name artist.
After party?
Yeah, you don't know about the TwitchCon after party?
No, I know there's an after party.
Yeah. Oh, when they announce big ass artists, I've seen Diplo, I've seen T-Pain, I've seen Darude, Steve Aoki.
Honestly,
I've seen.
I really don't care for an after party.
I've seen Blink 182.
I just want to hang out with.
I've seen Logic. You know? I've seen so many awesome ass people at TCon, man. But I always go to all the parties out there because I get invited to a lot of parties. A lot of parties at TCon are invite only parties. Discord partner party, Twitch partner party. Twitch after parties for everybody. I got invited one year to a.
I'm not invited.
I got invited one year to it was a Samsung exclusive party at the Hard Rock Hotel in San Diego, and I got to check out the new Samsung phones with my fiance and get this.
Oh wow!
Free hand massages. And then there was a private panel.
Oh, because your hands get really tired when you drive in the Ferrari.
Free hand massages. And there was a private and open bar. And there was a private panel where Pokimane and Myth talked to all the creators that were in the room. And you got an opportunity to ask them questions. And there were also computers where you could play games. And it was exclusive as fuck. And they gave me a VIP pass with a +1, so my fiance got to come with me. And the VIP pass was good for the whole weekend. They said come in and out whenever you feel.
What the heck?
Yeah,
on the streamer loop?
Yeah, there was. Listen, I've been to some really awesome parties, but that was like the most fun, exciting portion of like TCon for me personally. I want to go, and so I hope that the sentiment changes. I hope that like I hope we get more clarity. But if the event doesn't look like it's gonna pan out to be a good event, then why would we waste money going when we could just have more fun doing our own event?
It could be a lot cheaper just to do our own thing,
and we could have crazy fun. And then like we could also look at a B&B. Oh shit, chat, there's an ad coming up in 10 seconds. We'll snooze it. We'll snooze it for an ad in 5 minutes. But then there's also the ability to. We can hang out with the boys. More of the boys are inclined to go, like Tyler and Tra. But then also, we can find a B&B that fits everything we're looking for. Because the Vegas B&Bs were...
Yeah, the Vegas one was like really hard.
They were cheeks, dude. They had so many rules.
Yeah, there was so many rules. And like a lot of them are like choir neighborhoods. Like I don't think we're gonna be like super loud, but I mean, I also don't want to catch a backhand fine for like.
Well, also at TCon we were gonna have 6 of us splitting the B&B, and then we were probably gonna bring friends back to the B&B. So you like 10 people in a B&B, like.
Yeah, it'll be a small kickback, but I don't know. I don't want to be hit with a fine out of nowhere saying we were too loud.
Yeah, there's just a lot of uncertainty around TCon right now. So we're looking at the situation. We're considering what we may or may not do, and so it's the space is uncertain. The landscape is still changing. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening. We can't go too deep on the next section here, but we have an ad break coming up in 3 minutes, 50 seconds. Jimmy, do you want to chat? I gotta go pee, man. Drink this Rogue.
What the heck?
Thank you guys so much for contributing in between the ad breaks. I actually really love our ad breaks where we're able to chat it up with you guys and have conversations while we're waiting to come back from the ads. I love that. That is something I think we're going to continue to do. We are back from the ad break, though. Welcome back, everybody. This is What in the Podcast with your boys Jimmy and CrossFireX, gaming it up.
Hello.
And chatting it up and shooting the shit, talking about anything and everything. And I know lately the theme has been a lot about streaming and Twitch versus Kick versus platform this and platform that. It's just because it is changing rapidly and there's so much information coming out, and we're trying to keep you guys up to snuff on all that info. We want to make sure you guys have good information, not the bullshit that you're going to see elsewhere. And so that's why we do that. This next topic is going to move us entirely away from, it is about a streamer, and it's going to move us entirely
he said
away.
Some stuff.
It is some.
It is very questionable. That'll make you go, huh?
Shit, huh?
Like he really said that? Like little bro really said that?
It is some sus shit. There's no other way to really.
No, it's wild. Roll the clip.
Let's just jump into it with the clip, yeah?
Yeah, roll the clip.
We'll jump into it with a clip. You guys are going to have a lot of conversations on this, I'm sure of it. And we'll get to you guys' comments and questions on the next ad break. But we're going to go into topic about this because this is wild. This is wild, man. I don't even. Let's roll the clip, man. Let's roll the fucking clip.
Roll the clip. Roll the clip.
Consensually, and they agree to use the proper protection, not conceive a child. What reason can you give me that that's wrong? Besides just saying it's icky or weird. Yeah, you guys will just say it's icky. It's incest. Yeah, but what is bad about it? Assuming they can't have children and assuming there was no power dynamic growing up. Even if they're blood related, it's the same blood. Why?
Bro, look at his face,
that's not a moral argument, though.
Dude,
you know I mean? It's literally illegal. So it being illegal makes it morally bad. There have been many things in human history that have been illegal that I don't think we could argue are morally bad.
Look at him try to justify it, dude.
Consent.
So for those of you that are a little confused, he's justifying. Well, I don't want to say he's justifying because I don't want to put words in his mouth. We're talking about incest.
Yes.
And so I'm going to play that back one more time so that you guys have a full picture of what you're listening to. This is a conversation about incest.
Consensually, and they agree to use the proper protection, not conceive a child. What reason can you give me that that's wrong?
I can think of a lot of reasons.
Besides just saying it's icky or weird. Yeah, you guys will just say it's icky. It's incest. Yeah, but what is bad about it?
Full pause. What isn't bad about it?
Yeah, what isn't bad about it?
What isn't fucking bad about it, bro?
Everything is wrong with it. It's just like.
So the content creator in me says you gotta get impressions. Yeah. You gotta be baiting. I mean, look, we're bringing it up on our podcast to our audience who had no clue about this, and
it worked. It worked.
If that was the sole intention, if that was the goal of Blastoise, was to get impressions, to get clicks, to get views, it's working.
It worked.
It makes sense.
It worked.
But
but to say all that,
I mean, he's basically saying in his like the way that it came across is like in his mind, he basically said incest is okay. What's wrong with incest?
Yeah, he was asking his chat, what is wrong with it? Besides, what is icky or gross about it? Like, it's foul. I can't, dude. I'm speechless, dude. I can't imagine somebody saying that. Like,
this strikes me as the type of person whose favorite fucking category is the fantasy category on the porn websites. The one that always say stepdad or stepbro or stepsis or stepmom, or
this is going there, but yeah,
I'm speechless because I don't see how you could I don't see how. Okay, it's one thing if it's so, and that's. I would argue if you're gonna throw the stepsis or the stepbrother or the stepmom, you're not blood related. But he doubles down and he says, even if you're blood related, what's wrong with it?
It's illegal. That's what someone said in chat.
And then he doubles down again, triples down, and he goes,
Oh yeah.
there are things that have been illegal, but they're not morally wrong. Except incest is morally wrong. We're talking about having sex with your family. Like,
Yeah, that's
how far removed from your family do you have to be to even come to the concept of like, hey, you know what's really funny? The first thing that popped in my mind was, there's a cousin he's tried to fuck before. And he is like in the past, there's gotta be someone that he has had a thought of like, damn, I want to fuck them. And that is why he has come to the conclusion of like, well, it's not that bad. Or maybe he's done it. And now he's justifying that he's done it by saying, well, I did it and I'm not like, I'm still normal and you guys like me. And so it's not that bad. I don't know. Like, how do you come to that conclusion? Like, how do you get to that conclusion? To even be able to just like, to even be able to say it and be like, yeah, I don't see what's wrong with it.
like, even to say it like out loud on a platform is weird. That's on the internet forever, by the way. I couldn't.
Well,
If it was just for like impressions, I wouldn't even just say that for impressions.
Not even for impressions. Like, you could say a number of things for impressions. You know what I'm saying?
Like out of pocket. That's so like
it's incredibly out of pocket. It's gross.
I can't, bro. I can't. That's why I didn't even want to talk about it, because it's so fucking stupid.
Well, like with someone of his size audience, his reach. What if your family sees this? They gotta know about it. With as big as he is as a content creator, he's obviously told his family about it.
Or the viewers told his family members. That's a thing too. So then when he goes to dinner, with the family next time, they'll be like, "Hey, yo, what'd you say right?"
He's like, did you catch my last stream on Twitch?
He's hitting the B at the no. Yeah, the family dinner. No.
Did you see my last stream on Twitch? Just wondering if you saw it, cuzzo. It's like, dude, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, man. I just the only logical explanation to this is that he doesn't believe it himself and he's fishing. I think that's the only thing that makes sense in that space is that he's fishing.
Bro,
I mean,
I hope he's waffling. I really do.
That is like,
but even then,
that might be the king waffle right there. That might be the king waffling take.
It's still so bad. Like,
and I guess that just kind of shows you like how shameless do you get for views.
That's true, dude. Some people be really shameless about the shit that they do.
How shameless do you get for views? Dexerto picks up the article. The article is pushed out on Twitter. You've got people, maybe they don't even think like you, but maybe their favorite category is step siblings, and so they're like, oh, hey, I kind of relate a little bit, and now they tune into your stream, you get a subby, and I just that's
I don't know what I'm thinking about it, bro.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's bad all around, bro.
Yeah, it's bad
all around.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah. It's bad, dude. It's bad, dude. I'm baffled, dude. I don't fucking know, man. Like, that's like me fucking tweeting out on... Actually, this is... Wait, hang on. I'm going to keep that to myself.
What the...
I was going to say, that's like me tweeting out on Twitter the meme of me waffle stomping, and then tweeting out on Twitter that I shit in my shower and then I stomp it down the drain for impressions, because everybody's gonna look at that and go, what the fuck? Obviously I don't. But it's a meme within our community. And so that would be like me making that tweet. And then like people would be like, what the fuck? Like that would be me making that tweet for impressions. Maybe I should make that tweet for impressions. Maybe I should make that tweet right now for impressions.
Don't do it right now.
Maybe I should make that tweet right now, live on the podcast.
No. I mean, you do you. I don't advise it.
Hey, man. If you come back to this Twitch stream next week and there's 158 people, 200, 300 people, well, you know what happened? I said some crazy shit on Twitter. Like incest is good, dude. Like, what the...
Flip it.
It is so wild. You know what? Honestly, chat, is so wild. Fuck this topic. I'm out of here, man.
No, dude,
no, dude, we gotta pivot. We gotta pivot, bro. There's just we're pivoting. We're pivoting. Let's pivot the fuck out of there, man. Let's blow this popsicle stand. Let's pivot the fuck out of there. Jimmy, let's bring this to a lighter. Let's bring this to lighter terms.
Well, I mean, we're at the end of the thing, and it's not much better. That number 9 isn't much better.
But it can be. It can be. We bring this to lighter terms. Okay, you used to have a little fucking Twitch redemption on your channel for channel points about ride operator stories.
Oh yeah, I used to be a ride operator.
You used to be a ride operator. You had some work in the amusement park industry.
Yes, I have.
You got anything to share about that, man? What's the craziest shit you ever encountered as a ride operator? Like, if you had to pick something to be the craziest.
That happened to me or it happened to somebody else?
I'll leave that up to your discretion.
You know what? I'll answer both. I'll go with that's ever happened to somebody else. So one of the rides at the amusement park, I'm not going to say which one, but basically it was just a gigantic tower, right? And it had this like spinning, it looked like a donut that spin on the outside, and you would just like view the area. It was basically just to go up to see everything, right?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I know what you're talking about. They have that at Six Flags.
Yeah. So, well, long story short, it gets fucking stuck. And there's about like 14 people stuck on that, including at the top, at the very top. It's pretty fucking high. All right. So 14 people, including the ride operator, get stuck there. There's no way down. Okay. They've been up in the air for around 6 hours. It's nighttime. The fire department gets called, right? And they have to like ladder up and send somebody on top, open a trap door at the bottom, and then rappel them down one by one.
No!
They're on the news and everything. Yeah.
No, bro. Yeah. No, I'm staying up there.
There wasn't no like service like staircase, spiral staircase down. No, they had to rappel down, open up the floorboards to get out, bro. It was a whole thing. I think the whole ordeal lasted like 9 hours. They were stuck there. So the ride operator in question that was stuck there, like I didn't know him, but I like knew of his friend group, so I kind of understood. Dude, they were stuck up there for so long that they had to go to the restroom. They picked one side because it's a circular thing, so they picked one side of the place to go to the restroom.
Wait.
They were stuck that long, bro.
Wait. You mean they're just pissing?
Yes.
Just inside.
I mean, where else are you gonna go? You're trapped up there for 9 hours or 8 or 9 hours.
Yeah, but like, I imagine the ride is enclosed. That's gonna smell.
No, it is gonna smell. Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
It smells really bad.
I mean, where you gonna go? You gotta go.
No, you don't gotta go that bad, fam. Nah, you don't. Dude. This is exactly why I don't fuck with roller coasters. One, I'm scared of heights. Like, just straight up, like, I don't fuck with heights. I go on a plane,
honestly,
but it's different. It's like being in a bus, but in the sky. They call them Airbuses.
Honestly, very few rides get like stuck. That one was like really old, where there was like that was like worst case scenario because a lot of the rides, like if it gets stuck,
There's like
it's in a
ladders and-
position where you can exit out really easily. In
But
that particular instance, they had
that
to
doesn't
pull
help
out the
me.
fucking floorboards fucking 100 feet up. It was crazy.
That doesn't help me
It was
though, because
pretty
I'm scared of
fucking wild.
heights. Like I don't even fuck with heights, right? So like I'll do flights,
Uh-huh.
but I've done roller coasters.
Uh-huh.
I don't. The worst part of the roller coaster for me is the climb, because it's
Is the
slow as
climb?
shit. It's slow as
Uh-huh.
shit. There's the fun don't start till you get to the top, and you're just gradually watching
Is it the-
yourself go above the trees.
Uh-huh.
And if you're scared of heights, you're like, well, this bitch could get stuck, and then I'm really scared. Everything's fine once you hit the drop.
So it's
But
the
if you don't
slow
ever hit
thing.
it's slow. Yeah,
It's the slow. It's the anticipation.
It
You
will.
just say,
It
"Oh,
just
fuck, oh,
yeah.
fuck."
So I don't fuck with roller coasters in general because of it. I avoid roller coasters. I like to go to Six Flags. I like to enjoy. I am a amusement park enjoyer for the atmosphere, the food, the music, the themes. Hell, I want to go. I like to go see the shows. I like the water park sides of amusement parks, right? You go to, I don't even go on the slides at Six Flags. Like when you go to the water park or you go to Hurricane Harbor, I don't even go on the slides because a lot of those require me to climb really high staircases.
Okay, water parks are a little bit more sketchier because it's like wet and it's like a spiral staircase.
Or they're
and,
just
you know,
staircases
they're-
80 feet in the
they're just
fucking sky and
yeah, they're just standing there, right? The floor is wet. You slip. It's fucking hard ass. Like I always thought, like as a kid, like I would slip under the railing. You know, that's what I thought. Water parks are worse because
I just don't like
it's
heights.
definitely fucking bad.
I just can't do
Yeah.
heights, man.
I don't like heights in the sense that if I'm stationary and I'm looking down, I'm terrified. If I'm on a ride, I don't give a shit because I already know I'm gonna come back down, even if I do get
Well,
stuck.
you hope you come back down until that bitch is stuck, and then you gotta walk down those steps. And when you're walking down those steps, guess what?
Not that bad.
Oh yeah, it's not that bad. The only
not
place
that
you're
bad.
looking
I've
is
done it.
down, bro. The only place
I've
you're
done
looking
it.
is yeah. That's fucking bad if you're scared of heights. The last thing they tell you to do when you're scared of heights is they tell you.
I'm scared of heights.
What do they tell you? What do they tell you? They tell you don't look down until you have
it's
to
the
fucking
worst
look
thing.
down. That's what they tell you.
You have to look down. You have to watch your fucking step.
That's why it's a problem because the whole
You
time
have to
you're
take your
watching-
brain somewhere else. To be like,
Nah.
you just take it slow. Like I've done it before. I've walked down people that were scared of heights. Like my ride, granted it wasn't that high, but it's still significantly high.
Would you walk me
Right?
down
It was
the
stuck
stairs?
at the. It was stuck. Yeah, I'll hold your hand and
can we
everything,
hold
dude. I'll make
hands?
you feel. Yeah, I'll hold your hand.
Would you hold me by the
I'll make you
waist?
feel right. No. that's how you catch a case.
Wait, bro, what the fuck?
Ride
Why not?
operator sexually assaulted me at the when he was.
Oh
exiting the
shit, that's a
ride.
nice lawsuit, actually. Hey,
I'm saying no,
I'm about
but
to
like,
retain a lawyer.
no, I've done that because the kids I exited off the ride, they were like really scared, right? And I was like, "Don't worry, I'm here." I made them feel comfortable, and then we walked all the way down. They were afraid of heights. I'm afraid of heights, bro. But it's just like, I mean, you're safe. It's a staircase.
No,
That
the
bitch
fuck you're
ain't
not.
coming down.
That bitch is open, bruh. That bitch is open. Them staircases is open. They got a railing on one side. The other side is the goddamn roller coaster, dude.
Yeah, I
I
did. have to,
need
yeah.
I need a double
When I-
railing, double gripped up, fucking, like
Yeah.
I need double grip, like and bro, when I'm on a roller coaster to begin with, I ain't this motherfucker. I'm this motherfucker. I'm this guy. Gripping that bitch. Like, bro, give me the fuck off this thing. Why did I even get on? Oh, I got on because I just sat in line for an hour and a half. I'm
it's not
gripping,
that
dude.
bad.
Dude, I'm gorilla gripped up, waiting for that bitch to end.
It's not that bad, man.
Gorilla gripped. No, it's bad. It's really bad, dude. I don't fuck with rollies. I don't fuck with roller coasters, man. I can,
Yeah,
like I
to
said,
be fair.
I can go on planes.
Yeah, there's a staircase, but then on the other side is just completely like a drop off. So when I was getting them out, I was like, do not exit out of that side. I was like, come towards me. I was like, the last thing I need is for somebody to exit out that side because yeah, that would have been bad. I got them down. It happened like 3 times where I got stuck like that. But
Dude.
rides rarely ever get stuck. If
No,
they-
that's
like,
cap. That's fucking that's BS. Every time I go to Six Flags, there's at least one ride that gets stuck there. Every time. At least one.
Stuck where?
Like it'll just
at
be stuck. Like okay, so at my Six Flags in Chicago, well, it's not Chicago, it's more Gurney. It's Gurney, Illinois. So the Six Flags there, they had the V2. Okay, and the V2 is this, you know, it goes up like it's like a giant U, and you know, comes down, goes up, and it twists at the top, and then it untwists, goes down, and then it twists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, until that bitch is stuck in the twist. And it
Can't
happens.
get stuck in the
Oh, it gets stuck in the twist. Yeah, the ride literally gets stuck in the twist, and they're just sitting.
Is there a lift where it to build inertia?
Yeah, there has to be of some sort. I don't know the logistics of the actual ride itself, but there has to. But then there's another ride. There was a ride called Iron Wolf. I think they eventually removed it, but that thing got stuck. Every time I was there was something wrong with it. There was always somebody stuck. And then even newer rides. Every time I go, one of the rides there in my visit has gotten stuck. Now I'm not on the ride because I don't fuck with those rides. You know the rides I like?
You just said like damn, those bitches stuck.
You know the rides I like?
I'm glad that's not me. What?
I like the teacups. I like any ride that stays on the ground and spins like a motherfucker, man. Any ride that is on the ground and it spins like a mother. And I'll hit those bitches all day. And you want to know why those are the best rides? Because the line is only 15 minutes long for them bitches versus an hour and a half for the Raging Bull and all that other bullshit. All right. And now I've been on big roller coasters. You know, at our Six Flags, I've been on the Viper. I've been on the Demon. That bitch got loops. I like it. I've been on the Wizard. I've been on X-Flight. I've been on the Dark Knight. Actually, the Dark Knight is probably my favorite roller coaster there. But you want to know why it's my favorite roller coaster there? Because that bitch is indoors. Wow. It's an indoor roller coaster. So if I get stuck up top, I'm inside. There's a roof. Like, I'm not seeing trees around me. I'm inside.
Oh, it's more the visual for you. I mean, it's still the same. It removes the roof. It's still the same shit.
It adds to the effects. But like,
you just feel like you're safe in a room. I feel like at that point. You're just like, just because I'm enclosed, I'm safe.
Yeah, and I like oh yeah, it's bro. No, it's not the same. It's not. I don't even think that ride, the climb on that ride, for instance, the Dark Knight. The reason why I like it too, the climb on that ride is fast. It goes quick, and it's not like a crazy high climb because it's indoors. How tall do you think the building is?
True.
You know what I mean? And so it's not like crazy. Yeah. Like I don't even like the spinny machines that go higher in the air. I like the ones that stay on the fucking ground, dude. And those are the rides I'll ride. Like, you know, you ever see the canoe or like the river rocker is what they call it at our Six Flags, and it's just a fucking boat and it just does this.
River rocker?
It's called the river rocker.
Oh, it's a boat that just goes up and then spins too.
Your bitch spins?
Oh, you're
talking
this
thing
about
just goes back and
really
forth,
high.
dog.
Oh,
Okay. Hell fucking
There's another one that spins.
Yeah, but that one stays planted. It kind of goes up on. It's kind of like it's like up on a half pipe and it spins. I've been on one called not the King de Ka, but like I've been on one that was like 30 seats and that bitch just goes up in like a loop and then the seats itself flip.
Oh yeah, I've been on that at a carnival. That shit scared the fuck out of me, honestly, when I rode it. I was like, holy fuck. You know what's funny? I actually did get stuck on it.
Yeah, upside down.
Yeah, because the chairs. Yeah, the chairs swivel, so when it stopped, it kind of just like, you're high up, but you're stationary like this. You're not upside down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
But still, it was pretty fucking scary. I was like, "Fuck, dude, this is wild."
I just don't fuck with roller coasters, man. Like I can't.
Roller coasters are fun.
Especially because I think the biggest issue that I have with like roller coasters too is like I'm putting my life in the hands of not the ride operators.
Of an 18-year-old?
Not the ride operators. I'm putting my life potentially in the hands of the guys who are in charge of doing maintenance on these rides.
You know what's funny?
And the maintenance guys have a bad day.
Yes.
Maybe they skip a step. That could be the difference of your life right there.
Yeah, it was a real problem with because I worked in the kids area where the rides aren't really necessarily dangerous, but maintenance really doesn't give a shit.
They don't give a fuck.
They'll do the bare minimum, which is pretty fucking scary.
So think
Even
about
for
it.
A kid's ride.
A maintenance
but
guy.
the bigger ones, yeah, I guess you can make that argument. You're putting your life in the
hand of the maintenance guy, and Come on, bro. Human nature. We get lazy, hot day, tired, skip a step, want to go home early. I'm putting my life in the hands.
Yeah,
of
but
fucking
you're thinking about
guy.
it too much.
No, that's not thinking about it too much. That's I think that's a plausible.
Rarely.
Yeah, except at my Six Flags where rides are getting stuck every time I go. Every time I go, there's a ride that gets stuck.
Okay, but like the thing with stuck is like it's not necessarily the ride breaking down. That's the term everyone likes to say. Oh, the ride broke down. It could be like a sensor issue where it detected the car where it wasn't supposed to be, so the ride just automatically stops. It could just be like a safety precaution like that. Another trick is if you ever see a ride break down, don't leave the line if they tell you like
Yeah,
it's
you
gonna
get
be
on
a
after
wait.
because it's perfect.
No, like don't leave the line because it could be fixed in like 10 minutes, whereas you've already spent in line in like 1 hour and then you leave.
Yeah, a
only
lot
to
of
come
people
back and realize
stick the
ride-
lines for sure.
Yeah, so you stick it out for like at least I want to say like 25 minutes and then you can call it. What I like to do, like if it was longer, like if it was gonna be a longer, I'll be like, hey, like I let people know I was like, yo, it's gonna be a long wait. If you guys want to wait in line, you can, but just I'm just telling you so you don't waste your time because nobody wants to waste their fucking time. But yeah.
That's another reason why I don't like roller coasters though, is because you spend 90% of your day standing in fucking line for 2 minutes of fun. When I could go hit 1,000 of those little rides in the time that you're standing in line for one ride, and I can have a blast, and then I can go eat. I can go eat funnel cakes. I can go watch some shows. I could go play the games. I can go try to win a stuffed animal or something, or they got go-karts, or you know what I mean, like and so there's for me there's a lot of other stuff I can do that I think is equally as enjoyable versus standing in line for an hour and a half to get a minute and a half of a ride, and then you have the added risk, right?
True. The only ways you can bypass that is either buying like the fast pass or actually being nice to the ride operators, because I've gone out of my way to like select certain people that were really nice to me. I'm like, hey bro, just go to the exit, I got you. There's like a handful of times where I did that. Yeah, just like people being okay. So you're dealing with people. It's like customer service, but like on top of telling people no, they can't ride. There's a lot of bullshit that you deal with. So if anybody gives you like a good like interaction and is genuine, like I'll go my extra mile to make your day even better. I remember this one family. It was like late at night, and he was saying, "Oh, he's like I'm retired." He was like, "I was in the military," and I was like, "Oh, I was like, oh, my family's military or whatever," and we bonded like that. I was like, you know what? Go to the back of the line. I got you, and then we'll get you on another ride. Like I went out of my way just because he showed me some decency. After like I think I had a really shitty day.
I think that's fair.
Juice this guy up.
But that's also like an anomaly too. Like that's not gonna happen every
time. Oh yeah,
so
that's not something to like bank on. But like
that's
just,
an anomaly.
Like, just be nice. Just be like like we're not out here to fucking make your day horrible.
Yeah, it's like I like amusement park atmospheres. I'm an atmosphere guy, right? Like I get way more fun out of that. I get to stay grounded. My feet are firmly fucking planted, they don't need to go anywhere but
I'm safe.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm safe.
And like you could make the argument that like the teacups and the spinny rides, you could fly out of them. And have you ever heard that story in the news? Not once. I ain't never seen one. I've seen plenty of stories of the giant drop and tendons and legs getting cut off. I've seen plenty of stories of coasters malfunctioning. I've seen plenty of stories of rides getting stuck. I ain't never, in my experience, ever heard anybody go, hey, you better watch out for those teacups. They're awfully dangerous. Not once. Hey, not once.
Isn't there a story about somebody dying at the teacups at Disneyland?
I'm sure it exists, but you hear 9 to 10 ratio of the other rides before you hear of the teacup ride.
Yeah, another thing is most of the accidents are actually like the people's fault. I had one person jump into like below the ride where the tracks are. It's called the low zone. You don't go there when the ride is on because there's
dummies go and get their fucking phones.
Yeah, I had some dude hop the fence because he lost his hat. Hop the fence and he's directly under the big drop, right? We had to shut down the ride because of that. That was crazy. I was like, bro, you can get your head cut off. Like,
fuck it, press the button, let the ride go. Natural selection. Hey, dude. Hey, listen. I mean, play stupid games, win stupid fucking prizes. That's how I look at that.
It amazing, dude. He vaulted the fence so fast. I didn't even have time to react. and so I had to give the signal to e-stop the ride, and then yeah, that guy got kicked out.
You saved that guy's life. Did you think of it that way? If you didn't give the signal, he dies.
I was too pissed off.
Yeah, but you saved his life. How do you think about it now?
I mean, if you put it like that, that's cool. Yeah. I mean,
dude, you're a hero, dude. Oh my God, Jimmy, the hero we never knew we needed, man.
Jesus Christ.
He's like, dude, stop. He's like, relax, man. I'm not a war vet.
Nah. But the thing with like e-stopping the ride is people get mad because like obviously the ride stops, so they have to wait even longer. So we have to deal with people. It was the whole thing. I didn't feel like I saved a life. But I definitely saved him from getting fucking
Well, yeah,
hurt.
because I mean, you're the like if no one else made the call and you're the one that made the call to stop the ride. What if the call doesn't happen? What if you don't see it and they didn't see it and the call happens?
Something could happen.
Yeah.
That dude was wild and
man. Yeah, I mean, you know, roller coasters are not my forte, man. I like the other shit. You know, other people who like roller coasters, they can go on them. I stick to the ground. That's my take on it.
I said the worst experience that happened to somebody else. The worst experience that happened to me is I almost crashed. So this ride in particular, you drive it yourself. So I was behind the.
You driving the train? You driving the juju train?
I was driving the train. Okay.
Nah.
So I almost crashed into another train full of people. Yeah. So I had
come on, it couldn't have been that bad. Those things go like what, 3 miles an hour?
No. So, okay. So it's the train, and then it has 6 carts. 6 carts can fit 10 people each. So you're at like 60 people capacity. That's my train. And the train in front of me has the same capacity. It was actually a busy day. So 60 people and 60 people, right? The way the ending of the ride works is there's a really high like waterfall where you end up, and there's a steep downhill down to the exit dock where people get off.
Shit.
Yes. So what you're supposed to do when you breach that waterfall is you're supposed to look back and watch, because they could, you know, if they climb over, they could fall off. So you watch your people, right? Well, I was watching them too long, and I didn't notice that the car was down there below. It's a steep ass hill. I have to stop. I hear over the radio. They called me James over there. Like, James, stop. And I was like, holy shit. So the way the brakes work, it was a long lever, and you would pull it back. Well, I had that bitch tucked in my chest, holding it, and I had to put that bitch in reverse. Otherwise, I wasn't stopping because we were going downhill fast. I got 60 people back here. We had
a lot of weight, bro. There's weight. Yeah,
a lot of weight. Pop that bitch in a reverse, full throttle, and hit the fucking brakes. And I was like, am I good on the radio? They're like, go. So I was really close to causing a major accident. That was the worst. But the thing is, no one ever found out, except for the person that yelled at me. And it was funny because it was my trainer.
Do you think, like, if you look back at it, do you think, like, maybe that day you might have been maybe extra tired? Is there any, like, I mean, it's hard to say, like, right? Like, I'm just, like, thinking about.
It was a hot day. It was a hot day because it was summer and we're super busy. And I mean, you get into the flow. I was watching the people because they were like a rowdy group or whatever. But I was watching them, but I didn't notice the car below me. So it was just my attention was misplaced.
Human nature.
That was my fault. Yeah.
Human nature, man. That's what I'm saying, man. There's fucking mechanics to skip one bolt. That bolt's a little loose. That bitch comes out. The fucking screw falls, and next thing you know, that bitch was shaking.
It was like loud as fuck.
Yeah, dude, 100%. I bet.
Everyone was like, just like, what the hell's going on? I'm over here fighting for my fucking life so we don't crash. That's the worst thing that happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a wild story for sure. We do have an ad coming up in 1:30 here, but I actually think that I snoozed it 3 times. I actually think that we're kind of at a wrap for the night. Like, I mean,
yeah,
good length, great conversation. I think we probably gotta put a little pin in it from there and continue on the next episode next Sunday, guys. If you haven't already followed the stream, make sure you guys don't follow the stream. Whoa, time out, back up. Make sure you guys follow the stream. Don't miss next Sunday's podcast right here again, 6 p.m. CST. And for those of you that came in late or maybe tuned in a little bit and had to leave, we will have the full podcast up on the new podcast channel on YouTube, What in the Podcast. The links are in the chat. And don't forget to follow the Twitter where we tweet about the podcast. Definitely follow the Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube. That's where all of the future podcasts are going to be uploaded is immediately to that YouTube. They're no longer going to be uploaded to my personal channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast today. We'll be at awesome fucking conversation.